So all of Washington is excited, and there he is. Pope Francis comes out, going to his Fiat for the ride, where he will make this very important address. He will speak in English, and he will talk to those people who come there, some 15,000, to hear him talk about his visit to America, what he wants to do, and perhaps talk a bit about himself, who he is, and what has shaped him on the way to becoming the head of the church.
And Charlie, as is his way, he goes straight to the crowd. He doesn't get in the car. You all are not surprised to see that. He goes right to the crowd, immediately shaking hands of the people that have gathered there.
Can you imagine what this means to those people who reach out and can touch the Pope or kiss him?
Monsignor, you were saying that he's been taking English lessons because he very seldom speaks in English, but he's been taking English lessons to prepare for this.
Yes, I was with the Holy Father last December, Dale, and he told me how excited and honored he felt to come to the United States and how much he needs to prepare for this visit. He certainly isn't a man who expected to be the Pope.
Look at the smile on his face.
Yes, invigorating.
How enthusiastic he is about this.
Jeff Pegues is there where the Pope has just arrived, and he's stopping to talk to the crowd. Jeff Pegues, what can you tell us?
Well, he is meeting right now with Catholic students from the region. And as you might imagine, this is a moment that they will remember for the rest of their lives. They have been out here for the last couple of hours cheering, waiting for the Pope to emerge, and now they are seeing him right in front of them. He is shaking their hands, and you can see that his security is standing back. As you know, there has been a lot of discussion about how this Pope likes to mingle with the crowds, and he is doing that now. This is a crowd of about 50 people on the lawn of the mission here. There are bigger crowds a little bit farther back across the street. Many of these folks have been screened. They were invited in here to this event, and they are seeing the Pope emerge for the first time as he prepares to enter the Fiat, and then he will be led through the streets of Embassy Row on his way to the White House by a caravan of Chevy SUVs with Secret Service agents around him. As we've mentioned, this is a complex security event, one designated by the Department of Homeland Security to put it on level with a presidential inauguration and a Super Bowl. So there has been a lot of thought, a lot of planning that has gone into the Pope's visit. In fact, the Secret Service some months ago sent a detail to the Vatican to observe his movements for moments like this where he is interacting with the crowds, and we expect to see more of that today. As you know, after the White House, he goes on to the parade, and there is a crowd there of about 200,000 people that they are expecting to line the parade route, and we expect that there may be more moments like this when we see the Pope Mobile for the first time. But look at these students enjoying this moment with Pope Francis, who so enjoys the personal contact, and that's what these students have been waiting for. Charlie?
Thank you so much. It is an extraordinary sight to see this Pope. Why does he wear, tell us about the garments that he has on.
Well, the white garments, the traditional garments of any pontiff, they've been used for many, many different centuries. They distinguish him from a priest. He's a pastor of the church. Notice that very simple garments. The cross he wears is the same pectoral cross that he wore as Archbishop of Buenos Aires. Most Holy Fathers would wear a gold ring. He's chosen to wear the same silver ring. He doesn't wear the red shoes anymore. He wears some loafers, some black loafers as well, and trousers underneath. So he wears this garment because he is the Holy Father, but more importantly, he wants to remain very normal and very simple in his dress.
It's so interesting to see the crowd trying to get selfies. This is the one moment you do not want your cell phone to die. But do you worry about him getting in the crowd? Do you worry about his safety? He so enjoys doing that. Does that ever concern you?
We do, because we do not want to lose him. But as he's quipped, God has put me here, and so God's going to have to take care of me here. And
God is his guardian angel.
God is his guardian angel, you know, and that's why I think he is loved so much. For us as Catholics, as Christians, he's following what Christ did, because Christ went to the crowds. He didn't stay in his palace.
Do you believe that all those cardinals who chose him are even themselves surprised by the Pope he has become?
Oh, I've spoken to many, many cardinals, and when he was elected, we were there together, Charlie, and they were surprised he was elected. It must have come from the Holy Spirit, but he's just blossomed.
Yes.
Because he was a very shy man, really shy. I knew him before he was Pope, extremely shy, but look at him now.
Yes.
He's invigorated by the crowds. He leaves his notes and he speaks off the cuff. I think we're going to be seeing that, and he's not afraid. He's not afraid to speak the truth, but always with tenderness and great charity.
And Monsignor, you said that he calls you on the phone. I can't imagine what that's like.
Yes,
when
hello,
the phone
this is the
rings.
Pope.
Yes. What does he call you to discuss?
Well,
what can you share with us?
It's completely out of the blue, really. Last time he called me was in July, and I was in Siena, the beautiful city of Siena.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of the cathedral, and he called out of the blue. The number comes up as private, and he said, "Sono Francesco, I'm Francis." And I was going to say to him, well, what an untimely moment to call me, and who is this Francis? But then I understand who he is, and he wants to talk about different issues. But one thing that really strikes me, my mother is not well, and he always says, "How is your mother?" and give her my blessing. That's amazing for a man who is in charge of 2 billion Catholics in the world.
And when he calls you, does he speak in Spanish?
He speaks in Italian. He likes to speak in Italian, and that's surprising even in Rome, because he wants to be the Bishop of Rome. He wants to be, first of all, a pastor who takes care of his flock, and his immediate flock is Italian. When he comes to the United States, he's going to speak English, he's going to speak Spanish, because he wants to address.
You know, as we watch, he's getting into his fiat. Now, who will be with him in the fiat? Who is always there with him?
Well, next to him is an official from the Secretary of State, a Monsignor, who is in charge of the English section. And so he's been helping him with all of his addresses, and he's also going to help him now with translation during this time. At the front will probably be Dr. Gianni, who is head of the papal security at the Holy See. He's going to be taken well care of.
What did you all think yesterday when you saw the big motorcade and he's in this little Fiat and you have these big security SUVs beside him? It was so typical of him.
It really is, because I was expecting, well, he's been forced to get into this big car. But you can really be assured that he insisted on that small car.
He has a force of will about those things.
He really does. I mean, he's a man
appeal
of
to a
poverty.
sense of simplicity.
Simplicity is a man of poverty, and he himself says that we've got to remain normal. Whatever position God calls us to, we've got to remain normal. Otherwise, we become unauthentic, and people will not believe in us anymore. I believe that his personal testimony, Charlie and Gail, speaks much more than his words. Look at him.